Okay, so cool. I want to welcome everybody to the photo safari. My name is Richard, as we know, and we're going to be taking this little guy around with us so we can record him. So you don't really need to take notes, but you can take notes if you want. I'm much more concerned about the experience we have and what we get going on. So all the gadgets, all the apps that we use and stuff will be mentioned right here. Now to give you a little bit of history on this class is I did not invent this class. I invented my own version of this class. Apple, I happened to be in New York City, and Apple was doing a iPhone photo tour of Central Park. There was an Apple store that was right down the street from Central Park, not the Fifth Avenue one, a different one, right down the street from the other side of Central Park, then an iPhone photo tour of Central Park. And what happened was I had signed up for it online. I was in New York just on vacation. I signed up for it online, and 2 other people showed up, and it was the 3 of us and a whole bunch of Apple executives that were along, and like the manager of the store and the Genius Bar manager and all that, and they were showing things that I just did not think were very good, so I actually took over the tour. They offered me a job right when I finished it. I didn't know New York or anything. I said, no, I like my cruise ship job. I explained what I did and everything like that. But my original goal of this class was actually not to do it on the ship. It was to do it out in Warnemünde, Germany. Because some people don't want to trek all the way to Berlin, if you've ever been to, people don't want to trek. And I think the best place in the world to do this, in my opinion, is in Warnemünde. Unfortunately, the legal team was not on my side with shore excursions and all that. But I'll tell you something really cool. Unfortunately, we're not doing it this cruise. You're going to see this class, but the last 3 or 4 cruises, we've actually been doing this class in the ports. I've been working with the destination concierge, and we've been doing semi-private journeys that I've gone along on, and we've taken pictures and all kinds of other things like that. So if you come on a future cruise, what you're going to likely see is you're going to see a combination iLearn shore excursion thing when we go out and we take pictures and we do different really cool things like that. But I'm going to give you the equivalent of what I can on board. The reason we didn't do it yesterday, not yesterday, the last day, was because the ship was rocking a little bit. I want to show you something really cool. When we're talking about rocking, we're talking about moving. I want to show you something that I had never seen before I started looking into doing this class. Now, this is a Samsung phone.
Screen and
I'm going to turn down the volume because the volume is not important here. This is a Samsung phone, but what's very cool is what you don't realize is all the power that's in the cameras that are in our phones. Do you see that? I'm going to get low. Do you see how the camera's actually moving there?
Yeah.
That's what's inside the cameras in most of our phones, is we actually have the camera moving and it's suspended inside. It's something called optical image stabilization, and it's really, really cool. So when we tilt our hands and we do different things like that, it's actually moving. That's inside all of the pluses, so all the pluses, the 6 Plus, the 6S Plus, and it's also inside all of the 7s. If you have a 6 or a 5S, it's not in there, but it's doing that in software, not in hardware. So it's this, but there's actually a physical moving camera inside. So if you've got your hand and you're shaking it like this, it's actually counteracting the shape. Now the thing is, that's hard to see in the camera, so I want to go ahead and I want to show you visually how this works.
What about the Galaxy S7?
S7, that is a Galaxy S7. What you're looking at on the screen is a Galaxy S7. So what I have is I have a non-technical version. I love this one. This is actually, a lot of the stuff I'm going to show you today is not stuff you can go into a store and buy. Now, what do I mean by that? To get something on the shelf in an Apple store, you're going to pay millions of dollars in slotting fees. I don't know if you've ever heard of slotting fees to get things on the shelf in an Apple store. The reason I don't have a lot of these gadgets, I will tell you, is because what country are we in right now? So, yeah, what country are we in right now? The reason is I can get a lot of these gadgets, but the companies agree with warranties on us in the country that it's purchased. So Apple and Belkin and the companies that we have in the glass there, they allow us to sell the product in no country, but then give a worldwide warranty. It's part of our policies to sell here. I'm showing you things that you can buy in the US, Canada, UK. Does that cover everyone? Anybody else anywhere else? US, Canada? I don't think there's any UK. It's just US, Canada. I'm showing you things you can buy in the US and Canada, primarily on Amazon or different places like that. You're not going to find these things I'm showing you in a store. That's the thing to understand, because they're not paying the slotting fees. Now this is really cool, because this is exactly what your camera is actually doing. Is there's a gyroscope inside of here. Now this is called the Stable Cam, S-T-A-Y-B-L-C-A-M, and I want to show you what it does. Let me go ahead and pop this out. I'm going to show you on the screen what this does, because this is really, really quite cool. So I've got this guy, and if I have the camera right here, if I were to hold the phone myself and I were to take a video, you notice that my hand's a little shaky? See, it's not super, if you watch the screen. You see how that's just bumping around a little bit?
Yep.
So if I put it in this is the equivalent of stabilizer. You see, it's much smoother. And I can walk with it, I can do all that. Here's the nice thing. This is waterproof. It doesn't need to charge. It's dustproof. It's actually a manual stabilizer grip right there. So you actually get it like this. And this is exactly what's being done electronically with the camera. Essentially, the camera is put an electronic version of this, but you can actually go and you can record, and people shoot actual movies like this.
So
like
does it fold?
But yeah, it folds
so
up.
that you can
It folds
pack
up. Yeah, it folds up. And I'm going to tell you a true story. I'm going to tell you a true story. Every time I take this through the airport, I get stopped.
I've been there.
Every time I take it through the airport, I get stopped. And every time I try and explain what it's for, they don't believe me. So I've just broken down and I just say it's an adult toy of some sort. And they, we stop the conversation. I'm like, it's an adult toy. They're like, oh, okay. Because if I start explaining it's a gyroscopic camera stabilizer, what do? They go, oh, no, you can't have that on the plane. So if there's no moving parts, there's nothing like that.
Is it heavy?
It's not heavy. It's weighted. It's designed to be weighted. But the cool thing is you can even run it upside down. So imagine you have dogs, and you want to take a video of the dogs, you want to take pictures low, or if you're into feet, I can actually go in.
That looks like it's probably illegal in some places.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I said feet, not dresses. Why? But you see how stable that image is?
Look at those feet.
Yeah, look at those feet.
If you have a foot fetish, it's really good.
Yeah, that's what I said. If you're into feet, it's really good. But here's the cool thing.
So that I thought you see.
Is I actually have a stabilizer right there.
But I thought you said the 6S does that, but not as much?
So here's the thing. It's always better to have good stabilization. Now they make, last cruise I'm going to tell you, someone had a $400 gadget called the Osimo, which you would stick your phone into and it would do this electronically. And I asked the guy, he had it, right? He's so happy. I got a gadget, you don't have it. I said, is it waterproof? He said, no. I go, do you have to charge it? He goes, yeah. I go, what happens when the battery dies? It does nothing. So this is, yes, I agree, it's inside the phone, but it's always better to have an extra step, and you can't get shots like this with just the phone. If you have a monkey, or you have something you want to take,
Whoa, see,
that's because I put it in the wrong way. There's a tighter way and a looser way. I put it in the looser way. Now, someone always asks me if I can put an iPad in here, and the answer is yes. An iPad will fit in here. I put the phone in the iPad way, it won't fall out now.
Can you take a picture remotely without touching this then?
So, that's where we're going to get to later in today's class. Now, you can put it on a timer, which is what we're going to do later, or you can use your watch to do it. Or if your phone, fortunately, still has a headphone jack, I don't know if it does, the 7 Plus, the 7s don't, you can actually use the remote from the headphone to be able to figure it out. So it's quite cool. Now, that's called the Stable Cam, and it's on there. Now, this isn't for everyone. I agree, but I would like to show it because it's a really unique gadget that you really wouldn't see anywhere else. Now the next gadget, I want to get through all the gadgets, and then we're going to pack up the gadgets we're going to use on the road, and we're going to take them with us outside of here. The next one's called the iRoller. Now there are very few gadgets that I own 2 of. And it didn't come buy one, get one free. I actually just own 2 of them. And here's what's cool about it. We've all used lint rollers before, right? This is a lint roller that's used to clean the screen on your phone or your tablet. So I can take this and I just use it to clean my... And it takes the fingerprints off and all that. So I'm going to pass it around, but here's the rules when I pass it around. These are not rules. No, let me tell you the rules. It's not don't steal it. I don't care. I can get another one. Here's the thing. If your phone has a plastic screen protector on it, you don't use this. If your phone has a glass screen protector or no screen, well, if your phone has a glass screen protector, good job. That's what we're going to talk about in the next class we have in here, is glass screen protectors. But if your phone has no screen protector, you need to get a glass screen protector, and we'll talk about that another time. If you have plastic, please, 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 please don't use this if you have a plastic screen protector, because it's going to lift off the plastic screen protector. I'm going to pass these around just so you can see. They're called iRollers. Here's the thing to understand. On Amazon, this is about $6. If this were to be in an Apple store, they would charge over $20 for it because this store has to pay a couple $1 million in slotting fees to even get the slot inside of the Apple store. Does that, you see where I'm headed there? It comes down to this. This is why I like to show you these things, because these are nerdy things that I've found over the years. Now I want to show you everything from this list, and then I'm going to show you the iPhone and iPad. Actually, I'm going to show you the iPhone and iPad camera connection kit right over here. Let me grab it. So one of the things that I keep in my bag like nobody's business is cables! And more cables! And more cables. Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted to. Now, here's something really cool. The majority of us, we take the picture with our iPhone or iPad, but does anybody still have a normal camera?
Oh, they did.
So if you still have a normal camera, they have the iPhone and iPad camera connection kit. Now, I want to point something out. It used to just be called the iPad camera connection kit. Now it's the iPhone and iPad camera connection kit. If you're going to buy one of these, the only place you should buy one of these is from an official Apple store, because it's got special electronics inside of it. And you'll notice if you have one before, you probably have one from the past.
For the old iPad.
This one's actually bigger, because what they did is they put the circuitry that makes it work inside of the device, so now it works with iPhones as well. To give you a little idea there. So it works with iPhones as well. My GorillaPod. You've already seen this, but I just want to show you. I'm going to show you some, yeah, please. I want to show you this guy. You've probably seen this guy already. I showed this in the class in Celebrity Central. But it's called a GorillaPod, and it's got these little feet like this and everything that wraps around it. I want to make sure we're familiar with all of these different guys do. Now, I'm going to get back to Pico Projector later, but I do want to show you my cables. Now, these are very cool. How many of you have, who knows how many different cables around your house? This is the concept that everybody loves. And what's so funny is I have someone who's traveling with me, and he's seen these cables, and he goes, what do you mean? I need to order like 6 of these cables. Imagine if you could have one cable and use it for everything. That's what's really cool. So this is micro USB. This is that cable that uses for everything other than your Apple devices. This is a full-size USB. This is Lightning in the same cable. And then what comes after Lightning, which we're going to talk about later, is called USB Type-C, which is like Lightning. It's reversible. It's kind of like if Lightning and micro USB had a baby, you would wind up with USB Type-C. But all of these things are inside of one cable. The name of the company that makes this is Nomad. So Nomad is the company that makes this. I also have a bunch of, I put cables in chargers. Nomad, my wallet, if you see me out in port, you can stop me if you see me out in port, my wallet has an iPhone charger built into it. On the ship, I only carry around this, not my wallet, because money does you no good here. I used that $1 to tip the guy I just picked up my laundry from. But here, this is from Nomad. They're also very fancy braided Kevlar cables. And I have a lot of them. I love this one. And I have 3 of these cables, and these are the 3 main cables I use for everything. Because I can charge any device I own with one of these 3 cables. But here's the really cool thing. This is one of their newer cables. And this is all from Nomad. You can actually get to their website. So you'll notice that this cable is a little pregnant in the middle.
Charger?
Yes. So it's a Lightning cable that also keeps an extra charge for your iPhone inside of the cable.
Oh my God.
So it keeps an extra charge for your iPhone inside of the cable. Now here's what's cool. These guys are pretty revolutionary. None of you have ever seen stuff like this before. When companies make unique things, remember I told you about the slotting fees that companies have to pay to get in the stores? This is a small company. They're in Best Buys now. Now, are you going to pay more since they're in Best Buys? Yes. What Best Buy does is they take their product, they double the price on it, and don't charge them a slotting fee. So if you buy it from their own website, you can get them you can buy it from Amazon, you can buy it from their own website. But I love these cables because I can carry around one cable, and I have it absolutely everywhere. Now, let's talk about battery packs for a second. Yeah.
To get to it, it's nomad.com?
Nomad, no, it's actually hellonomad.com is the actual website for it. Now, the Mevo live broadcast camera, we're going to take a look at another point in time. I'm going to show you this little guy that I'm using right here. I'm going to show you exactly how he works. That's the goal, is I'm going to show you before the next class we do in here, I'm going to show you what I've been doing with this guy. But it's kind of like a GoPro and a little bit different. It's actually recording everything we're doing, and that's how it's getting online and all those different things like that. But I want to talk, let me see. We'll talk about the Jackery bolt when we get back. We're going to talk about battery packs when we get back. But I want to talk about the flash on your camera. Now, this is going to seem like a really dumb thing for you to do. But what I want you to do is I want you to take your camera, open up your iPhone. We all have our, I know someone doesn't have an iPhone, and I said I would donate my, so what I'm going to do to keep you on the same page with everyone else, I'm going to pass you, I think I don't have a case for it. Do I really have a case for it? I'm going to pass you my iPhone, and you can, is there an iPhone case up there? I took off the case.
You took it off, it's underneath your bag.
It's underneath my bag. Okay, I don't like to have an iPhone naked, and we'll talk about that later on. I'm going to pass you this to use for the class. A lot of it's going to work on your Android phone as well. The settings are just in slightly different places, so I want you to have that there if that makes sense. So what I want to talk about is I want you all to open up the camera. This is going to sound very dumb, but there's a reason for this. I want you to turn on the flash. Turn on the flash. I want you to hold the camera towards your face. So the actual physical camera pointed at you. No, turn it around so you can't see the screen. Yeah. Yeah, turn on the flash. Force it to on. You remember I said you never want to put it on, but I want to put it on in this one case. And I want you to take a picture of yourself so you can see the flash. I want you to look at the flash. I know it's going to blind us all for a second, but I want you to look at the flash. Now, take a picture of yourself. Turn your camera around. You want the actual camera pointing towards you.
Oh my gosh.
The actual camera, so you're taking a picture of yourself like
Going
this.
away, I have to do that again.
And we should have the flash go off, correct? If it's set to on, again, you want the camera pointed at you. There's a reason for this. There's a reason I'm showing you this. There's a very interesting reason. We want this, we want the back camera. Watch the flash. Look at the flash. I don't care about the picture.
I'm sorry.
So we're just going to watch. I'm going to take a picture of you. That's fine.
I don't have it on flash. I had it on flash.
You have the front camera. I want to use the back camera. Watch the flash. The back camera is going to look very unnatural. Watch my flash. You saw this up close. I want you to see it from a closer thing. Just watch my flash. Watch my phone. I'm going to flash this side. This is bad to say. I'm going to flash this side of the room first, and then I'm going to flash that side of the room. Watch my camera's flash. It actually flashes twice, doesn't it? So if you watch, but watch the first flash and the color comparison to the second flash. Do you notice that the color actually changes? Inside all of your devices, iPhone 5S or above, is what is called a true tone flash. Now what does that mean in English? I'm going to tell you what that means. You have 3 different colors in your flash. So the first flash, I'm going to show you the color of the first flash. I don't mean to blind anybody, but this is the color of the first flash. It's a neutral white color. This is almost never what's done in your flash. You have 3 different colors in your flash, and here's the 3 different colors. This is just a pure white color. That's what the first flash is. But the second flash is a mix of all 3 of these colors. Of clear, of a violet filter, and of a yellow filter. Now what you can do is use these together to make something either cooler or warmer. So this is default. This is the colors as they stand. And if I wanted to make the colors cooler, I would put in a purple filter. See, it makes the image a bit cooler. And if I put in the yellow filter, it makes it warmer. If you look at the back of your phone without flashing yourself, you will actually see in the flash there are 3 different colors. And they're essentially those 3 different colors. When you take the first flash, it is metricing what color to shoot out. If you look in the back, if I've just flashed you, your eyes are going to be a little... give it a second. But it's hard to see. As long as you have at least a 5S, you have 3 different colors. Now, if you have the little one that looks like a 5 and you don't have the fingerprint sensor. So if you have an iPhone and you don't have a fingerprint sensor, you don't have the colors. If you have the fingerprint sensor, you have the colors. Do we all have the fingerprint sensor on our phones? Whether we use it or not is an irrelevant factor, but do you physically have it? So you have the little square still on your home button, correct? I think you're still, yeah, you still have, you got a 5, yeah. So you have the little square on your home button still. Just that doesn't have the true tone flash, it doesn't have the 3 colors. But what it does is that's why it flashes twice. It's figuring out what the white is, and then it's determining what proportions of these 3 colors to shoot. So there's not one flash in your device, there's actually 3 individualized flashes inside of your device. Now, I might as well show you this one now. Let me pull the cable out. I'm going to show you a Pico projector real quick, because we never have time at the end of the class. So I'm going to show you before. And then I'm going to show you something really cool that's not on the list that never came to be. Now this is pretty cool. This never came to be. Why I show this is a sample I got at the Consumer Electronics Show. I try and go to the Consumer Electronics Show every year. This is a technical sample. Please don't steal this. This is not something that was ever available for sale, but I want to show you. This is kind of the precursor to these cables. So I guess these did eventually come out, because this is, you'll notice that this is the kind of precursor to this. You see, I've got, this was for the older iPhone. You had the charger for the older iPhone, then you had micro USB, and you had mini USB in one line. So I say these never came out, but honestly, they kind of did. They came out in this form. So you can get them in this form now. It's just, and I'll show you another one that's in my pocket, and then I'm going to show you the projector. Ooh, show you this one. I have a lot of stuff in my pocket.
Find something?
Yeah, I did. This was cool. This is the Swiss Army knife. You're not going to find this anymore, but I'm just showing you kind of cool things you can find when you look online, because it doesn't, they make something like this. It's got a USB, it's got a lightning, it's got the old iPhone connector, and it's got the other USB. So I have one cable that does everything. And I keep this all inside of my vest, which is called a Scotty vest. And it's the first thing on the list. And if you have a man in your life that likes pockets, this vest has 17 pockets in it. So it has 17 pockets, and you go, why would I need 17 pockets? My answer is, why wouldn't you need 17 pockets? How do you know where you put what? Here's the magical thing. Well, it has a map that's printed on the cloth. Yeah, on the newer one. I have the newer one down in my cabinet. It has a map that's printed on the cloth that tells you where you put everything.
How do women know what pocket to put things in their purse?
It's very difficult. I agree. I want to show you. So I want to show you one last thing. I'm going to show you the projector, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to get going. We're going to be around the ship for a bit, and I do have one more cool app to show you that's not on the list, but I do want to show you the projector real quick. So this is called a Pico projector. I love these. Now, have any of you ever owned a projector before? If you look in Celebrity Central, there's that giant, big, ugly projector that makes noise and still isn't very bright or very clear or anything like that. This is what projectors are nowadays. Yeah, it's called a Pico projector. It uses an LED light because LED technology has gotten good enough. And I don't want to blind anybody, but I can just take this, point this up at the ceiling. It's called, so here's the thing, I'm not going to give you the exact name of it, and there's a reason I'm not giving you the exact name of it, because it's almost like a brand. Pico is made by Texas Instruments. Let me go ahead and find the code for this phone, because this is the only phone. It's called Pico. It's all in here. 968115. I don't want to say it out loud, Bill. 968115. And I will actually have in a couple seconds, it should give me the actual screen from the phone. On there. So I have a projector. Now one of the things that's interesting is, like, in your cabins on the ship, you'll notice that you can't actually plug in anything to the TVs. And that's because guest relations used to get phone calls because people would hit the source button over and over and over, and it was just easier to lock it. These suites, you can change the source because there's a butler who can always help you redo the source. But what I always do when I go on a ship or I go to a hotel, I bring this little guy with me, and I love this one because I just put it in bed with me, and I look up at the ceiling. Got my pictures.
Now, could you like stream a movie and watch it?
Of course you can. Netflix, anything like that, you can stream a movie for sure.
What kind of price does that have?
Here's the cool thing. These are about between $300 and $500. The one I used to have was from a company called Brookstone. We all know Brookstone, the airport technology store or the mall technology store. The only reason I got this one, and I will give you the model of this, it's called the MIROIR 125. It's a Pico projector, MIROIR. Here's why I like this. Every other projector I've had before has a proprietary charger. Between me and you, the thing that annoys me about technology more than anything else is proprietary chargers. What I mean is those little plugs that if you lose it or you leave it at home, you're SOLTF. We know what that means? So here's what's cool. This guy just charges via USB. So I can just plug him in, and I've got USB, and he's very, very different than any of the others.
How long does the battery last?
Well, here's the cool thing, technically indefinitely, because you can plug it into a battery pack, and you've got it. The battery lasts about a movie on its own, but I plug it into a battery pack, and I am more than good to go for a long period of time. Now, we need to make a couple changes on our camera before we get going. We're going to make a couple changes on our camera. I'm going to show you one more really cool app, actually, that's not on your sheet, and it's going to make some of you sad, this app, I promise you. The reason it's going to make some of you sad is because you won't be able to do it on your phone, because it only works on the iPhone 5, 5S, and SE. It doesn't work on the iPhone, any of the newer iPhones. But it's fine. It's a reward for the people who have the older devices, but the newer devices, I'll explain why I'm working on the newer ones, but I need us to change something on our camera before we go outside. We're going to go to settings on our device, so we're going to go to settings. You shouldn't have a code there. Go ahead and do that on here. I will help you individually with your Samsung later. I have a Samsung as well. We're going to go to settings. We're going to scroll down to where it says photos and camera, and we're going to turn on the grid. Settings, photos and camera, and grid.
Where's the grid?
Under
Under camera.
Settings, photos and camera, grid. If you already have it on, you're okay. But you'll notice what this does now, it gives us a
Grid. Son of a gun.
settings, photos and camera, grid, and we have a grid on our device. Do we all have a grid on our device? We should be able to go there. We are going to talk about the concept of this grid a bit later on, but I just want to point out a few things now because we're going to be outside, we're going to be moving around, and I want to show you. You'll notice that the grid is like a tic-tac-toe board, right?
Right.
The grid is like a tic-tac-toe board, and you'll see these center points where those intersect. When you take a picture, and we're going to go into full depth in this later on during the walk when we do it. When we take a picture, instead of putting someone in the center, what we want to do is, you see where the two lines intersect? We want to put someone where the lines intersect. And then you'll also see a top line and a bottom line. When you have a sunset, what's more interesting, the sky or the water?
Sky.
No, let's try again. When you have a sunset, the water is generally more interesting because of the way it reflects across the sun.
Should always be on.
When you have a sunrise, what's more interesting? The water or the sky?
Sky.
The sky. So when you're taking a sunrise, we're going to go out and take some horizon pictures outside. That's why we didn't do this the other day. When you're taking a sunrise, you want to use the bottom line. When you're taking a sunset, you want to use the top line as your horizon line, as where the horizon lies. Do we all have the grid on?
Sure.
We all have the grid on. So what I want to do is, I've shown you a couple of gadgets. I'm going to pack up with what we're going to actually take with us. I am taking some things with me, and Ron's going to take the rest. We're going to bring the selfie stick. We're going to bring some battery packs, so we have them. And what we're going to do is we're going to be going around the ship for about 45 minutes, and we're going to do a practical demonstration of everything we've been doing. If anybody needs a charge, I'm bringing that with me.
Can we leave this here?
So, you can leave anything you want. We're not going to leave it on the table, but you can leave it with Ron. Ron will protect your things. After he looks through them, he'll be happy to protect them, which is very, very interesting. We're going to come back and look at the rest of this list, but what I want to do first is I want to show you something on this table right over here. If you have anything you want to leave with Ron, you can leave it over there with Ron. Ron's going to clean up what we have right here as well before he lets more people back in, but I want to show you something on this table real quick.
Don't bring your cash, leave it on your belongings.
Okay.
Our passport.
What was your number again? 968. Okay, let me show you something really cool on this table, and then we're going to get moving. All right, so I want to show you what used to be my opening app for my apps class. And the problem is, does anybody have an iPhone 6? Let me borrow your 6 real quick. Okay, you got a 6. That's pretty naked. I need the naked one. iPhone 7, that's fine. That's fine. This is fine. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as I can get it naked, because I'm going to show you why, so you can understand. The thing is, this is called cycloramic. And what it does is it takes a panoramic photo on its own. People think what I'm about to say is crazy, and then I demo it, and I'm going to be sad when the iPhone 5S and the SE don't exist anymore, because here's the thing. The iPhone can stand up on its own on the table. And this is going to take a panoramic picture by itself. A lot of people think what I'm about to show is pretty crazy. But you'll notice that this iPhone, I'm going to show you the major difference. Please wait. I don't want to load the sample gallery. There we go. I'm going to take a picture real quick. Where's the button? Here we go. So, watch what I'm about to do. And I'm going to show you why the newer iPhones can't do it. But when you see this, it's pretty mind-blowing. I always download this on someone's. I don't have an iPhone 5S now, so I have to steal someone's every time I want to do this. And I did that earlier in the cruise. Here we go. Come on. One flight of stairs-ish. Okay, here we go. Hey, work. This isn't set to vibrate. This is why I should never do this with someone's phone I don't have ownership of, but I'm going to do it anyway. General, sounds. Sound. Sorry, guys. I'm just talking to myself. Sounds. Vibrate. Okay, here we go. So, when you see this, you will go, wow, this is cool. I used to do it with my phone, and I can get it working first time, but I always have to borrow someone's phone because I don't have the newest phone anymore. Yeah. So I put it right here.
2, 1.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh,
Gosh.
Oh my God.
Wow, that's cool.
You ever seen something like that before?
It's magic.
That's magic. Here's the biggest problem. iPhone 6S, iPhone 6, iPhone 7 won't stand on the table. So they won't stand on the table. So here's the funny thing. Technically in this app, you know the charger that comes with your phone? The little two-prongy one with the little square? You can take an iPhone 6 and sit it in the charger and it will work. But then that's something extra to carry around and it's not as magical. So it's just using the vibration motor, nothing but the vibration motor. The name of this app is Cycloramic. It's not for everybody because technically it won't work for all of us, but it's actually made the image. And just so you can see, is I have a full panoramic image of the table now. So you can put it in the middle of the table for a party and different things like that, and it will actually fully...
What about if someone's got a 4?
Well, nobody has... What is 4?
That's a 4.
What's a 4?
Present.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, buy him a present. Get a new one. Okay. He loves his 4. Here's the thing, though. If you want to get him another one that's similar to a 4, you can get him an SE, which is the iPhone SE, which is the one that's the size of the 5, but has the tech of the 6 inside of it. That's the way to go about doing it. So right now, what we're going to be doing is, as a group, we're going to be going around. Now, someone asked stairs. Maximum we're going to do in stairs is 1 deck, either up or down, generally down. Our progression, just so you know, we're going to go from here down to deck 5, out to the open deck. We're going to stay pretty level on deck 5. And then after deck 5, we're going to be taking the elevator up to deck 12 and then back down here to deck 6. Does that make sense to all of us?
Can I use my own Samsung?
You can use your own Samsung. I'm going to pass that to my pocket. I just want to show you the settings on there. I'm going to use my phone at some point in time. If anybody has difficulty walking, then you have difficulty walking, I'll help you. I'll help you the best I can, but this is the photo safari, and I'm wearing my safari hat, and I always get weird looks from everyone when I do it, but that's why I do it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to continue out this way. We're going to go to deck 5, first of all, and I'm going to pass this camera over. Continual recording, there we go. So I'm going to pass this camera over, and we're going to start on deck 5. So this is the starting point of our safari. What's up? Come, join in.
That's what this is for?
No, this is not us. This is not us. And I'm going to teach you some tricks over the next 40 minutes or so that the photographers don't want you to know. That's why I'm going to teach them to you, because I can. They always yell at me, they go, why are you showing people this? And I'm just like, because I feel like it. We've got everyone with us. Okay, so we're going to come in a little bit, so we're not going to obstruct the flow of traffic. But do you see this sign right here? This sign is actually very difficult to take a picture of. So as weird as it sounds, I want you to take a picture of this sign now. Now grab out your phones. Now what you will notice is before, if you notice, remember I said we always take a picture like this? You don't have to. This is that one case scenario that we take the picture up and down. Now, are you getting a pretty picture?
You want it on the grid, right?
Yeah, I want it on the grid. The grid is irrelevant right now. We're going to talk about the grid outside. Here's the problem. When you take the picture, either the Ensemble Lounge sign looks good or the wood looks good. Am I right? Try it again. Tap the wood, and you'll see the difference. Do you see the difference there? So depending on what you tap on, you're going to get different exposure settings. So you're going to get different settings. Do you notice that if you're using an iPhone, you have a little sun that's showing up directly next to when you tap on it? So when you tap on it, you'll see a little sun. if you use your finger to move that sun up and down, it makes it either brighter or darker, the whole image. Yeah, that's okay, that's a good one. But do you see how when you tap around it changes the exposure there? You notice that? It's changing the way that the picture's looking when you tap around. Because what it's doing is it's changing the color white. Now we understand how that changes, but now I'm going to give you something very difficult to do, and this one is fun. Take this picture. Because here's the problem. What's the problem with the picture? You'll notice that you can either get the wall to look good or me to look good. You can't get both. This is one of the rare scenarios where you need to use the flash. Okay? The flash on our device. So you should have a flash. Almost everybody's device has a flash. This is one of the rare scenarios where you use the flash, but I'm going to tell you something about the flash that you're going to notice. When you use the flash, are we losing a lot of the details that are in the wall? That are in there, if you take a look at it. You'll notice you lose a lot of the details, correct? Let me show you a trick. This is one of my favorite photography tricks. I came up with it a few years ago, and I'm going to show you a way to do it. But here's the thing. If you need to take a picture like this, where you have light coming from behind, you don't want to lose the details on the light, you grab someone else's phone. You turn on the flashlight, and you put it in your own face. Now what you can do is you can safely tap around the wall, and you'll notice that my face still stays lit. Do you see that? You don't have all the details that's going on in the back. You get to keep the details as well as the details on my face. When you put the flash on, it's destroying all the details in the background to focus on my face. So I'm going to show you a picture in an ice bar when we get back to the iLounge that I did this exact trick on, because we had a really ornate tree that was behind me. It was backlit green. The second you turn the flash on, what happens to that green backlighting? It goes away. What happens to all the shadows in the tree? They go away. So when you take the picture, understand that you don't only have your flash, but you have other people's flashes as well. So if you steal someone's phone, and the cool thing is if you have at least a 6S, so a 6S or a 7, when you're turning on the flash and the flashlight, you can actually go low, medium, or bright. This is what I'm doing. So when you slide it from the bottom, I'll show you what's going on. So just so you can see it in here.
I know this is. So where's the flashlight?
So you scroll up, so you go down to your main screen. Go down to your main screen, scroll up from the bottom, and you'll see the little flashlight icon. If you only have a 5S or a 6, you won't have this function, or a 5. But if you have the 6S, watch this ensemble launch sign.
I don't have that.
It changes. You see, that's with low light. That just gives it a little bit of light. If I press it down again, I can get medium light. That gives it a bit more light. And then I can hit bright light, and you see it changes the...
That slide thing is for two or not?
No, the slide thing's for the brightness of the screen, not for the brightness of the light. So you only have 3 steps on your light brightness. Does that make sense there?
Mama doesn't do it.
Ah.
What happened?
There we go. So it depends what device you have. If you have a 6S, Samsung doesn't have control over the flash. You can put the flash on, but you don't have that control over the flash. It's something that Apple added to do.
No.
So do you have a 6S? 6S Plus. Hold down on the flash, just hold it hard.
I don't know what you got.
Low, medium, bright.
Thank you.
So you need to have a 6S to be able to change the brightness. You can turn on the brightness. But does this make sense? See, we have this light coming from behind. And sometimes you'll have something backlit or through a window or different things, and this is a way to get around it. Now understand that if you do it in a weird way, you're going to get a ghost story look. And it's going to look like someone's taking a ghost story. But you always have another phone sitting around, so you can just use your other phone. Someone else's phone. You should have another phone. No, if you're traveling 2 people, both of you have phones. And if the other person doesn't have a phone, it's time to get a new person. I'm kidding.
New girlfriend
But
again.
not really.
Another new girlfriend.
Another new girlfriend. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go outside. This is one of my favorite parts. Now what we're going to talk about is how to take pictures of sunrises and sunsets. Sunrises, sunsets, boats in the water, different stuff like that. So we're going to go outside right on the rail. Please do not hang your phone over the rail. Keep your phone inside of the rail. Oh, look at that. Look at that right there.
I put that on.
He's got a strap that he's put on himself to protect him from his clumsiness. Wonderful. So we're going to go out on the side of the deck. We couldn't do this the other day.
I made the holes
and
in
that's
the
why we
case.
had to cancel,
I made
because
the
if
holes
you
in the
remember,
case.
these decks were not
And I
open.
stole it off another device.
Now, this is very simple to take pictures when you have a horizon line. Very easy to take pictures. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to pretend that it is sunset. So the skyline is more interesting than the water line. So you're going to line up the horizon line with the top line in your grid. Do we all have the grid on there? Yep. So we want to line up the horizon line with the top line in our grid. And you can take the picture if you wanted to. Sunrise, we line up the horizon line with the bottom line in our grid. Now, we're going to back it up a bit, and we're going to make life a little more difficult. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take a picture of me at sunrise. So what you would do is you would put the horizon on the bottom, and you would put me, not in the center, but on one of those intersecting lines. Does that make sense? So where the lines actually intersect. How do you see it? You should be able to see them. If you can't see them, you might be in the sun a little too much. But does that make sense there? Like that. A little bit lower on me. A little bit lower on me. Because I look a little weird there. Now here's the thing. If you don't have the bar, it makes it a little easier to do. But do you see the concept there? Now if you put me right in the middle, and you put the sun wherever, you get a worse picture. So the best way to take a picture like this, if you have a sunset, we put more water than sky for a sunset. For a sunrise, more sky than water. And remember, we always put the person at the intersecting point of the lines. Does that make sense to everyone? Any questions on that? I'm going to show you an app that walks you through this a bit later on. But now we're going to do one of my absolute favorite things. So have you ever taken a picture? I showed this the other day, but I wanted to show this a little early, so I showed it in the main camera class. Have you ever taken a picture through glass before? Yeah. It's painful to take a picture through glass. I will tell you that me and Bill went to the specialty restaurant the other day. Bill, you can just watch that leg is collapsing there.
Yeah.
We went to the specialty restaurant the other day. We went to cuisine, and the glass was really dirty. I'll be honest, on the outside, because we had rough seas and stuff like that, so on the inside it was okay. But I want to show you how you can take a picture through any type of glass, if it's dirty or anything like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a picture in Cafe Al Baccio. Now how we're going to do this is we're going to hold our devices directly up against the glass and tilt it down slightly. So directly up against the glass and tilt it down slightly. What you're going to notice is it's going to focus through the glass. So we're going to go, there's Cafe Al Baccio right there. We're going to go up against the glass and we are going to take the picture. Follow me this way. Now the people inside are going to have to find the link. You may want to hold on to it. You're putting it right against, and you're tilting it slightly. Yes, beer bottles, beer cases. I don't know why I'm playing some beer over there. You can use it with the horizon as well on a weird angle. So you see how we're just doing that? Now, do you see where it's really bright? Just tap on it and it'll lighten up. So tap on the screen where it's there. You can see it'll. But you want to still go that sideways angle. So what you want to do? Let me jump in front real quick once more. I'm going to show you once more, and then we're going to go inside. I'm going to give everyone a chance. So you see how I'm holding my phone on a slight angle? You want to follow the line at that slight angle there. It's going to nowhere. That's the trick. So your line is going to infinity. And this is a photo trick. Your line keeps going and going and going, and it's essentially going to infinity. Does that make sense? So we get that vanishing effect. What we're going to do? We're going to go into the. So here's the nice thing. If you didn't get it right now, we are a group of people. You have at least 7 more days on the ship, and as far as I know, this deck is not going anywhere. So that's good news. What we're going to do? Now you see. You see that? We're going to be going in right over here. We're going to be going back inside on the ship. So we're going to park here for about 10 minutes. All right. So this is my selfie hallway. I love this hallway. There's a reason, and you'll see why in a few seconds. I'm gonna put this on the floor. We're staying right here. So we're staying right here for now. There's wires coming out of my bag, like nobody's business.
Richard, there's no grid on the Samsung, correct?
There is a grid on the Samsung. Go ahead and open up your camera while we're waiting for everybody. I'll get you the grid. Where's your camera?
That is cool. I like that. I never knew that.
Settings, grid lines.
Awesome.
3 by 3.
Yeah, it goes like.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, there's
see how it goes
little
all the way?
lights. Okay, we're going to all come in this way because we're going to be doing something right here. Now, how many of you have ever taken a selfie before?
Not successfully.
Not successfully.
Nothing you want to save.
Nothing you want to save. Okay. So I'm going to tilt that up a bit. So nothing you want to save. Now, here's the problem. The camera on the back of the device is significantly better than the camera on the front of the device. Meaning that this camera is much better. So this camera is a 12 megapixel shooter with great low light and everything like this. And this little one on the front is a camera. Problem is when we take selfies, we always use the crappy selfie camera. I want to show you how to use your back camera to take selfies. Now this is going to sound strange, but I'm going to show you how to use the back camera to take selfies. The only thing you need to do this is a wall that's at an angle, which we happen to have right here. It's almost like I planned this out. So it's a wall that has an angle. So what I want you to do is I want you to open up the camera app, and you should have, even on the Samsung, you should have a self timer. So I want you to open up the app, and you'll see a little clock. Do you see a little clock up there?
Yes.
I want you to choose the little clock and choose 10S. That means it's going to take 10 seconds to take your picture. Samsung, did we find it? Or, yeah, I'll get you. I'll get you. It's definitely there. See, right here. 10 seconds. Okay. So we've got our timer on here, and what I want to do is I want to take our. No, hold on. We're using the back camera, not the front camera. So we're using the good camera. So this is the back camera. So we're not, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our phones, and we're going to all do it. It's okay. I've got a way, we're going to organize a way for us to do it. And we're going to put it so the camera is at the top, and it is sideways. So sideways with the camera at the top on the wall. Just go ahead and place it there, and I'm going to, so you don't want to see the camera. You want to have an empty, oh, sorry. You want to have an empty area. Yeah, there's enough room for all the cameras there. And then step back. Don't worry, I have the best phone there, and I'm keeping my eyes on it. Okay. And make sure your screen's on when you put the screen's on when you put it there, right? Yeah, screen's good. We're good. We're good. We're good. The screen should stay on. Everybody should be able to put it on. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to count off phones. So I'm going to count off phones, and you don't need to remember the number. All you need to remember is whether your phone has an even or an odd number. Okay? That makes sense, because the evens are going to go first, and then the odds are going to go. There's enough room for everyone here. There should be. So, let me count it out. Just pay attention if you have an even or an odd number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. We got it? I don't know what if I'm even or I'm odd. I didn't pay any attention. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. I'm going to do it with my phone first. We're going to slightly pick up the phone. We are going to press one of the, just watch me first. We're going to press the volume button, either up or down will work. And you notice that the camera is blinking. It's showing me that it's counting down. When it gets down to 3 seconds, it's going to blink like that. And it's going to take the picture. Does that make sense? So, we're going to pick up the camera slightly and press the volume button, either one, up or down, to start it. Now, we're going to do odds first. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, whatever we got there. And just press it and step back.
Are you on?
Well, I am odd.
Then can you get out?
Yeah, so the even, step back a bit, and the odds are going to do it.
No, I'm even.
I just want you to
22,
understand
you're
the
21.
concept, and you notice it's blinking to let you
I'm
know it's about to
24.
take the picture. It's okay. You don't need this perfect. This hallway is not going anywhere.
Mine's not blinking.
Yours isn't blinking. It's your screen on. Yes. Yes. Try and hit it. Flip it around again. Oh, because you're on square, not first. It's still not blinking. We'll talk about that another time. I'll look at that a bit later on. But here's what it's doing. Now go ahead and evens and take your phones back with you once it takes your picture. Evens, we're going to go ahead and we're going to press it. I'm going to look at it real quick.
So why did you come out blurry? Step back.
So it's not going to be perfect.
Sorry.
I know. You need one of the actual cameras. You were in the quick camera. I don't think the quick camera. It needs to be on. Okay, so it's taking a burst of photos to give you a little idea there. Here's the thing, it's not going to be perfect, but I want to show you something really cool. Bill's going to do it too. Now, I went a couple days ago, I did this thing called spinning up in the spa, and people didn't believe me that I did that. They're like, Richard, you don't spin. The only thing I spin is spaghetti on my fork. They go, well, you don't spin. And what I want to show you is I want to show you when I did the spinning how I took a picture of myself spinning.
Yes, I saw you in that spinning picture, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's how he's losing weight.
Yeah, well, that's,
For now?
yeah, you know, we're not going to talk about that prior. But here's the cool thing. If you have an Apple Watch, you can actually, I wanted to show you how this works. I can actually use my Apple Watch as a remote. So you'll see that I actually have, let me show this right here. I actually have the picture we're looking at right there on the screen.
I left mine at home. Cool.
So I've got the picture I'm looking at right on the screen there. And I can choose to either take the picture right away, and I'll just take the picture, it vibrates, or I can turn on a 3-second timer. And Bill's doing it as well. And we've gone in and we've taken that picture there, which is what's really, really cool. We've gone in and we've taken the picture. Does that make sense to all of us? Now, so you don't have to use that. You can use the timer. Now, just so you know, the Samsung watches work fine with it as well. They have a remote camera function as well. If you have a Samsung, I have 2 Samsung watches, and it goes in like that. Now, sometimes people will use a selfie stick. Have any of us used a selfie stick before? They're banning
Can I
it.
just ask?
Yeah.
Keeps taking it as a burst.
Yes, it is a burst. So when you set on the timer, it's going to take it as a burst.
All right.
So you don't need to worry about that. So this is my selfie stick. And I want to show you, I don't know if I brought the tripod thing with me. I didn't. Yeah, I brought the Gorilla Pod. The thing is, number one, most selfie sticks, their security mechanism to secure your phone is kind of, I was gonna say, but I mean, here's the thing. Let me borrow your phone for 2 seconds. I mean, it's just like here and here, and you're like, it's not really secure me. It does work. No, this has a pretty big function. It does work. But here's the very important thing. Now, this is my favorite selfie stick. I'm going to show you what I used to actually do with my camera. But this selfie stick has helped me out a lot over the years. It's from a company called Accessories. And what it is it's a solid aluminum selfie stick / beating baton. You think I'm joking? In Israel, we had someone, I was on a tour in Jerusalem, and one of people in our tour groups, they were trying to sell them postcards, and they took out their wallet, and they went and, so I removed my camera from this selfie stick, and I began to beat off the person. That was after I broke that little shore excursion paddle. No, they were attacking us, and I know how it is. It is where you are. But this is the cool thing. This one won't rust or break or anything like that. It's from a company called Accessories, and what's really nice, I use it generally for my GoPro. I'm going to go swimming with turtles a bit later in this cruise. Tomorrow, actually, we're going swimming with turtles. So I put my GoPro on here, and then I put it around there, and it holds it just like this. The thing is, the way I like to hold my camera, just to show you, I'm going to show you the whole bit of this kit in a second. But this is another way to go ahead and secure your phone on there, and I think this looks a lot more secure than the other way, doesn't it? So I'll show you how this works. And I'm going to show you this whole kit. But I just take the phone, I should take this off my wrist or else I'm going to go crazy. Let me borrow your phone for a second. As I just take it and I screw it in. And that, once I screw that in, that's not going anywhere. So that's not going anywhere. Now, this is part of a kit that I'm going to show you right now. Now, I showed this kit to someone the other day, yesterday, and they couldn't believe the price that this kit was. What's really cool is everything I'm about to show you in the kit is about $800 retail value. So it's about, if you hit that red switch, it will prevent it from opening. Yeah, hit it up. Okay, cool. So, okay, I thought it would. Don't worry about that. We're going to come in a bit, and what I need to do is I need to...
We locked it open.
We locked it open. Yeah, let's press it down and not lock it open. Good call. So, we're going to come in a bit, but I want everybody behind this line here. So I want you all behind, no, I want to shoot this way. So I want you to come back here, as weird as that sounds. I'm going to close the door. Yeah, I just want that to stay closed. That should stay closed. I'm going to have you come back a bit, because I want to set something up right here. And I want everybody to be able to see the screen on my phone when I set this up. So this is from a company. This is called the iPhone video kit. It's on your list, and this is something Apple started selling about a year or two ago, and this was the gift I got for all the iLounge managers a couple Christmases ago. Now it comes with the tripod, and it comes with a couple other things as well. It comes with the tripod. I'm going to show you everything it comes with. It comes with the tripod here, it comes with the holder, it all comes in this nice little bag.
He wants to get right behind us.
Yeah, let him go behind us.
Sorry. Two of them.
Yeah, no problem. So I've got this, and I'm going to grab this little piece of kit here, and I've got this. I can take my phone, and I can mount it right there. I'm going to show you. Let me grab the right phone. I want to use this phone. And I've got this phone. And this will work with the 6, so this will work with any phone, but it's designed for the 6 and the 6S. And I clip it right here. And now I have a perfectly stable mount for my camera. But here's the other cool thing that comes in this kit. Let me grab the kit real quick. The other cool thing that comes in this kit is a zoom lens. So what comes with this is from a company called iLearn. Now this is no zoom. So you see this is as it is, no zoom. If I want to take a picture, I want to show you, that's why I want you to come back here so you can see. That's no zoom. Now how a lot of us have been taught to zoom is you go like that. That's the wrong way to zoom. Because right now you have a 12 megapixel picture. If you zoom in 2 times closer, you have a 3 megapixel picture. Because it's exponential. That's why no wonder. If you want to zoom on your device, you need to zoom with glass, with an actual zoom lens. So this is the normal picture. This is a picture with zoom. Now, that is still the same 12 megapixels. So just so you can see before and after, that's normal. That's zoom. And then you also have wide angle on the same lens. This is an anti-zoom.
Oh, wow.
You see how with the same exact phone, in the same exact position, I have 3 incredibly different shots, which is what's really cool. So these are called Allo clips. They're sold separately.
How much are they running now?
They run about $100 for this one, which has the zoom and the wide angle. There's another Allo clip I'm going to show you. It is not part of the kit. I have one more animal in the kit that I want to show you, but there's another one that's not part of the kit. But what's nice is the bag the kit comes in has room for a second lens. So this is my Allo clip I've had before, and can I borrow a piece of jewelry from someone? A ring, preferably? Borrow your ring? Doesn't come off? Anybody have a ring that'll come off?
Behind you.
Okay, I got a ring behind me. So if we're taking a picture, here's the problem. When I get really close like that, does it focus? So this is called macro. What's very cool is I can take this lens. This is from iLearn as well. I've had this one a lot longer than I've had the zoom one. Now this gives you wide angle, but where it gets really cool is it also gives you macro. You'll notice that you see absolutely
You
nothing
get so
there.
close to the screen, none of us can see.
So watch this. You see this guy? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you a bit later on in this iLounge, but watch what happens here. See how it actually focuses there? Now, if it didn't have that lens,
Now, the
We've got
macro
nothing.
on here wouldn't do that, do any of
no,
that.
this is an actual change in the lens. The thing is, the camera can only focus from about here. Now, the problem is there's not enough light. And here's, let me turn this around so you can see. Do you see the flash? It's covered. So if I needed to add more light, how would I do it?
Somebody else's.
So could somebody flashlight me? Somebody can you flashlight me? I want to show you how you change the details here. Go on, turn on the flashlight. Yeah, come on up over here, and she's gonna flashlight me, and just so you can see, you see the difference there? I actually get all the detail in that ring, and I can see there's a nice little inscription here. It says Madam Sina. Made in China. Okay, sorry. Madam Sina, made in China. They're very simple. But here's the cool thing. This is from a company called iLearn. Now, here's the trouble. I'm going to tell you the thing that's nice about iPhone. It's the reason I actually recommend iPhone over Samsung. I have a Samsung as well. We have a Samsung user. It's okay. I know that. But here's the thing. When they make accessories like this, Apple only releases 1 or 2 different iPhones a year. Samsung releases hundreds of phones a year. So you're going to see the accessory market's going to be far richer for these Apple devices. Now, here's the thing. We've talked about video, we've talked about, we've talked about the zooming, we've talked about other things like that. But what about audio? Audio is not always great on these devices. So part of this kit as well comes with a microphone. And you take the microphone, even if you have an iPhone 7 that doesn't have a headphone jack, you plug it into the lightning port.
Oh my goodness.
That's good.
And now you have a microphone that you can change the dynamics of. The cool thing is everything in this kit is about $800 separately. Apple sells this kit in their Apple store still for $299, which has all this stuff factored. Apple kind of made a deal with all this. This on its own is $200. So you get the very nice tripod, which is one of the nicest tripods you can buy. I usually put my little camera on that tripod, but I wanted to show you this tripod today. And you can go in, and one of the most useful things is it can get above eye level. So that's good. It's sturdy. There's only one real good manufacturer of tripods, which is a company called Manfrotto.
Yeah.
So you can get that. This is all Manfrotto tripod, Manfrotto holders. It's an insane kit for the price.
Yeah.
We don't sell it on board, but I'd like to show it to you because you wouldn't know it existed elsewise. Now, I want to show you one more thing that's in my pocket, which is even cooler, in my opinion, than that. Any of you have an iPhone 7? If you have a 7. So if you have a 7, the 7 Plus is the best phone you can buy, in my opinion, right now. And there's a company called Camrar. And what they make is they make a case for the iPhone 7 and the 7 Plus that what it does is it zooms your phone. So you saw the Allo clip. The problem is you can't really Allo clip over 2 lenses. So I take my phone, I put it in this case right here. Do you see those little rails that are back there? They make lenses. Oh, where's my lenses? They make lenses that slot into the rails. So I see I have lenses. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to take this phone out of the case real quick. I'm going to put this one right here. The goal is to hold it stable so you can see the change in here. And I can slot the lens over. And I'm going to show you some pictures I took with this, but this is, don't worry. This is actually a zoom lens. And since the iPhone actually has, the 7 Plus has 2 lenses in it. Come on. You want to focus for me? I'm talking to my phone. Give it a second. Oh, that's the macro. Sorry, that's why it's not working.
Yep.
Wow.
It's a macro, and then you have a zoom lens as well. And you can change all the lenses. And this is a company called Camrar, and they make, it's a little different than Olloclip, but they're slightly higher quality lenses, in my opinion. The one we want is, this is the one we want. This is fisheye and telephoto. So this is actually a zoom lens, and here's what's cool. You'll notice that this phone actually zooms 2 times closer. If I put this in, I can actually zoom significantly closer than I could with the other one. I want to show you some examples of this real quick, and I should ask Google Photos, but I'm going to scroll back in time. I need to scroll back to before I came. Now, I never publicly put this on Facebook or anywhere like that, but I went to the circus right before it closed. You know the Ringling Brothers Circus that was closing? I went to the circus. I took these pictures I'm going to show you from the nosebleed seats with this lens.
Wow.
So these are taken from the nosebleed seats. I'll play some videos so I can move it around so you can see what's going on. Let me pull. So this is taken from the cheap seats with these lenses right here. I love the concept. I just have one problem, honestly. They don't stay in very well. So you have to kind of babysit them. This is kind of a first generation product, but I'd like to show it because unlike the Aloe clip or anything like that, you just have a case and you slot the lenses right there. And this was taken free-handed, no tripod or anything like that. That was taken free-handed, zoomed in, not using the zoom on the camera lens, but using the zoom on those, which I think is really cool.
But those only work on the 7 and above?
No, they make them for the other phones as well now. They're designed for the 7, but they make a model for the 6S. It's called, I wrote it on your sheet. It's got a weird spelling. It's like camera or something like that. There's some, I will honestly admit it's some weird name, but what we're going to go do, we've got 2 more things we're going to do. One of them we're going to do on deck 5, and I'm going to tell you something really cool about the ship while we do that. It's actually something that you won't see on any other tour, but I think it's very cool because it's environmentally interesting. We're going to talk about a pano. And then we're going to go upstairs. We're going to take the elevator, so don't worry. And we're going to talk about HDR, which stands for?
High dynamic range.
High dynamic range, yes. Good call. So the only problem when you bring all these camera accessories, guess what you have to do with them?
Carry them.
You've got to carry them. The nice thing is generally I have that solution solved. I'm wearing it. It's my vest, but I can't shove a tripod in my vest.
I thought it was your friend there.
What, Bill? No, he's not carrying everything. Bill's not carrying. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put all this stuff away real quick. And where we're going to go is we're going to go over by Cafe El Baccio. No, not Cafe. We're going to go over by what was Bistro on 5, and is now Sushi on 5. I make no comments there.
You don't eat sushi.
I don't eat sushi. I don't eat sushi, and I loved Bistro. I was sad when Bistro went. But I'm going to get this, I'm going to get it all switched up. And we're going to be taking a panorama. Now, we've all probably taken a panorama before, right? And you take it going like this. We're going to do something a little bit different with the panorama than you've probably done before. So give me 30 seconds, 25 seconds, and then I'm just packing everything up. We're almost good to go. We're just going to throw it in the bag. Anybody want the beating stick? You need it?
I like it.
Might be a good idea.
I picked it up in Costa Rica in some random shop.
Wow.
Don't ask. Here we go. We're going to move on. Now, we're going to talk about taking a panorama. And we're going to do a slightly different type of panorama than we would normally do.
And I used to, when I first got them, I used to look at them, but I don't
Okay, there we go. We're recording. Okay,
There we go.
so we got our picture, and you see how you slide up, you slide down, it gives you the concept there.
No battery.
Low battery. We can help that problem.
We're going back soon.
We're going back in a couple seconds. Yeah, we're going to go up to 12 and then we're going to go back down. So, you can practice. Yeah, you can practice all of this later on. Don't worry about it. But I want to show you one more thing on deck 12. The last thing I want to show you is on deck 12. I'm doing this early enough in the cruise that you can see all of these different things. We're going to be going up to deck 12 because the last thing I want to show you, remember we talked about HDR? Remember we talked about HDR a couple times over the I want you to turn HDR onto auto. So HDR auto. Did we lose my son? Where'd she go? We lost her. Huh. I don't see her. I want you to turn on HDR auto. We've got that on? Mm-hmm. If our device is capable of doing that.
Are we still in panel?
No, we're going to be on normal photo. And we're going to go HDR auto. We're doing one more thing on deck 12, and then we're going to go down to...
Are we still at?
nope, go to normal photo. HDR auto, not on. There she goes.
doesn't do that, right?
The 5 just has HDR on or off. Yeah, we've got HDR auto. What we're going to do is we're going to go to deck 12 right now, and we're going to. I'm going to show you the only place on the trick we can consistently make HDR auto work. Meaning it's actually going to take an HDR picture automatically. Do you know the solarium, the green and the white fence thing up in solarium? we're going to take a picture of that, and it's going to show you the button that says HDR to show that it's actually HDR. So we're going to take the elevators up to deck 12, the front elevators. These are the back elevators. Up to deck 12, and then we're going to go back to the iLounge, and we'll finish up.
And why would you do this class the other day?
The nice thing is we'll finish
I would have had to call my
we'll be finished
insurance
right at
companies
time.
and my phone is in the water
We'll
swimming.
talk about other stuff later on.
Bottom of the
Yeah, no, would have
sea.
been interesting, right? Yeah, I don't know.
I would have definitely been to the sea.
Did you do this before?
Long time ago, 1985.
What?
I haven't. Originally, I ripped a tendon during what was supposed to be a very simple, easy tendon repair. The doctor severed the radial nerve in my hand.
Oh my God. And so, this is on a lot or?
Every day for the last 2 years, nearly. That's good news, you don't get to get enough on him. Something to strive for.
They have different colors and different designs?
Yeah,
Oh, that's some consolation there.
I went to swim and I went to sleep in.
And you could use your hand?
Sometimes.
Are you left-handed or are you?
Maybe I would actually treat this life. Oh, and I never know
We lost Miss Samsung. Okay, I don't know where she went.
She went up the elevator on 5.
She went up the elevator
Yeah,
on time?
as we
Okay.
were going around to sushi.
Okay. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
She's the one that disappeared. Okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
she got on an elevator.
Okay. Well, we're just doing one more thing, and then we're good.
Oh, no. Sorry.
I'd love to take the freight elevators, but they're smaller. So what we're going to do, we're going to go up. Again, we've set HDR auto. If your device doesn't have HDR auto, you can turn HDR on for this scenario. Now what it's going to do is it's going to blend the green of the scenery with the white of the flowers, and it's going to make them both pop. That's the idea of the HDR. When we have HDR auto, though, it's very rare you'll see it turn itself on anywhere on the ship other than there. When you take a picture of a waterfall or a mountain, or if any of you going out to the Pitons in St. Lucia, you're going to the Pitons. If you go to the Pitons, you'll see it there. Hopefully this is an empty elevator.
Not quite.
Not quite. We'll take in a couple of us. And we'll go up to 12.
Feature
Bill,
12.
you got the rest of the group?
Yep, we'll go to
Okay.
12.
Okay. We'll all meet on 12.
Oh, we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do it.
See you on 12.
Can't do anything because you're the one filming.
See how long it takes.
This one is at 2. The only one that's low enough. Stop! Oh, stop too soon.
Hopefully letting people off.
All the others are at 12. Oh, never mind. Oh. Alright. If you don't make it, we'll see you on 12.
Yeah.
There's still room for about 2 more.
Room for 3.
Yeah.
Might all get in there.
Yeah, come on, wait a second. Move back. No,
Squish.
you're fine, sir. We're moving around you.
Get everybody?
Yep.
We're just making sure you can't go anywhere.
You got me covered.
he'll run your toe over. We got a bunch of big guys back there that'll stop. Good.
We're all chicken. We're not doing nothing.
Deck 12. Going up.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The camera's going to be on. As I said, I want us to hold it sideways, camera at the top. HDR set to auto. Is there a room key?
Yeah, John?
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 If not, then I'll just take it and I'll destroy it later on. I've got John's room key. He's gonna buy a couple laptops and we'll continue the rest of the cruise. Okay, so remember, sideways, camera at the top, HDR auto. What I want you to see is you're gonna see it's gonna say HDR on the top of the screen. If it detects it automatically, we're taking pictures of the wall, not of the people. Follow. Follow. Because the mixture of the colors. Yeah, this is the only way to really get it to take an HDR properly. Once you get that again, so it's just an HDR. There we go, it's automatic HDR. Because of the proper mixture of the colors, we're going to meet right back by the elevator and go down to deck 6 and gather our stuff and finish up. It's going to process it after you take the picture. So it's gonna, I just want you to see what it says when you're taking the picture. That was the goal. That's what I want you to see.
Got it.
I just want you to see
Back to 6. Hey, Bill.
when you're taking the picture.
Yeah,
So that it did that. It's not going to be perfect. I just want to show you where, I want to show you a scenario where it happened automatically. So see what everybody saw.
Exactly. Higher resolution.
No, it's combining the lights and the greens. Remember when it was happening on the example? It's taking both of those exposures and blending them together. That's what it's doing. Okay, we're going to continue now. Right back on. Sorry. So you I'll send you down with the first group, Bill. You're just going to go back to iLounge.
Okay.
I'll take the second group, unless we can all fit in one elevator, then that'll be fun. I don't know if we're all good. Is that everyone?
Yeah.
Is that all of us?
They're in the pool.
Some fell in the pool. Let me see. Can you hold that for 2 seconds, Bill?
Some people went ahead of us.
Some people went ahead of us.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I needed to know. I was wondering how we fit in a full elevator once. Let's wave hi to the camera.
Hello.
Hi, camera. I'm gonna find my ice bar picture. I just want to wrap it up real quick. We're gonna get to the other apps later on. You've got your sheet. It's got all the apps listed on there. I like to do this because it's a little easier to go around and do everything. Okay, here's the picture that I want. There's the great. Yeah. Okay. That's you. What is that? Okay, okay. Yeah, there's no need to go to the gym after today's class. All right. All right. I'm going to wrap up with one more thing real quick I want to show y'all. When you're good. Oh, look, a whole mess. gadgets are still on the floor, that's great. Okay.
And then you just like you mentioned when that comes up, you just like you include the email.
Do you?
You switch network.
I want to show you this picture.
So this whole kit with the tripod is an Apple.
That's an Apple thing, yeah.
Is it on here?
So this is the picture I referenced. Remember when we started, I said I took a picture and I had all the green details behind me and everything like that?
Oh.
If you remember, I referenced the picture. And I said if you were to use the flash, it would have destroyed that picture. That's the picture. You'll notice that in my hands, just to show you practice and use, you'll notice in my hands I have a phone. And the flash of that phone, now don't worry, just have a seat. The flash of that phone was shot up to my face. And that's a practical use of using another phone, just so you can see a nice practical use there. I took a couple of them. Someone took it in the wrong orientation, but that kind of worked in that scenario. If you were to have used the flash there, guess what it would have destroyed? It would have destroyed the entire background there. So I want to take 2-3 minutes, and what I just want to show you is I want to show you all of the paid applications. You'll see star in the paid applications. All of the free applications you get. If you hate them, guess what? They're free. But I have 3 or 4 paid applications I want to show you. This one's very cool. It's called Fast Camera. And what it does is it just takes pictures as fast as your phone can do it. And you go to me and you say, well, that's a burst. You know, we've all taken a burst before, but when you use Fast Camera, you don't hold down the camera button. So it's just taken 69 photos. And I can go in and I can review all 69 photos that it's taken. This takes photos faster than a burst would. So it's called Fast Camera. It's like 99 cents. It's like 99 cents, this application. Really quite a cool one. It's called Fast Camera. The other one I want to show you is called Pixelmator. P-I-X-E-L. We've probably all heard of Photoshop before, right?
Yeah, much easier.
So much easier. I told you about Pixel.
Photoshop, I don't know.
You don't like Pixelmator? Okay. Well, to each their own, I would
Maybe
say.
I don't know how to use it, and that's why.
Maybe you don't know how to use it. Yeah, if you go in, I can go in. Let me find something I want to delete. Like, let's say, okay, I don't know why I want to delete this, but this morning we were on the bridge wings during a tour, and there was a bird that was flying by the bridge wings. If I wanted to go in, I could actually repair that bird. And by repair that bird, I mean remove that bird. Huh. I removed it with Eberty. Not perfect when you got the writing on the ship. There we go. And I can repair. And now the birds are removed. So I can go in. It's a full Photoshop replacement. The nice thing is it works across iPhones and iPads and Androids and Mac computers and everything. I love it. It also uses iCloud to translate these things over.
How hard is it?
What's the name of that one?
Very simple. Pixelmator. Now, you've just looked at it. Have you ever gone on their YouTube channel and seen how they talk you through using? So if you have it already in your library, download it again. It's free. It's not going to cost you anything to re-download it. And then take a look on their YouTube channel, and you'll see all of those different things that Pixelmator has to offer. I'm going to show you the manual and the Camera Plus. Take a look at them. They're interesting ones. But I want to show you the one I want you to get more than anything else. And then I'm going to go through the list and make sure I showed you all the gadgets on the list, because the gadgets won't come back up. The apps we can always reference. We have another 3 hours together total. We can always reference any questions there. The last one I want to show you in the apps is called Camera 51. And what's weird, why I think this app is interesting, is it actually existed for Android long before it existed for iPhone. And it puts it all together. What it does is it identifies a picture, and it tells you where to move the phone. So you see, if you'll watch it as a portrait mode, you see it wants me to move him into that upper third. And I've got the little, you see I've got the little thumbs up, so you see what's going on there. It's going to walk you through this the first time you do it, but you see it wants me to put her right there, and it gives me a thumbs up. If I put him here, it'll teach you how to take sunset pictures, how to take all kinds of different pictures, and it's just giving a little thumbs up. That's called Camera 51. Now I've shown you the Scotty vest, which is this thing, the eye roller, which is the little thing that rolls on and off. The eye, yep.
Pardon me.
Yeah.
The Camera 51.
Huh?
Does that work? You open up the app and
You
then
open
use
up
the
the
camera?
app and use the camera, yes. You use the camera from within that application. Yes. So that is a replacement for this camera, is Camera 51. that someone asked me about an HDR app in the elevator. I said, probably not worth it. But this one's cool. Now, you are only going to use this until you get good enough at taking pictures to work without it. Does that make sense? It's to guide you to take better pictures. So after a few weeks, if you understand it, then you just go back to the normal camera app. I showed you the Gorilla Pod, I showed you the selfie stick. I did not show you the Jackery Bolt. I want to show you the Jackery Bolt because the Jackery Bolt's pretty cool. It's in my bag somewhere. This one is very cool. It's called the Jackery Bolt. There's a lot of different battery packs, and we're going to talk about battery packs a bit later on in the cruise, but I want to show you this one. And I think it's the only thing on the list I haven't shown. I am going to show you the Mevo camera before one of the other classes, before we start recording. But I want to show you this because this is really cool. This is a little battery pack. Much like the little battery pack that would come, I referenced this guy. This is that M-Edge sack pack that I showed that's got the battery pack. But why I don't like this one and I like this one is this one has the cables built in. So if you have an iPhone, there's the iPhone cable. If you have the other phone or all those accessories that go with your iPhone that use the other cable that are not made by Apple, you actually have the cables built in to this guy. Now we're going to talk about battery packs. This is called the Jackery Bolt. Now we're going to talk about, in future classes, we're going to talk about cables. We're going to talk about battery. We're going to talk about cases. I want to talk about cases, battery cases. One of the coolest things, this is going to blow your mind, and we're going to get to this in the next course we have in here. I never plug this phone in to charge. Now I don't say I never charge it. I just said I never plug this phone in to charge. I have a little mat, which I'm going to bring up, that I take 3 phones, I sit it on, it goes whoop, and they charge up wirelessly. So we're going to talk about different stuff like that. Today's goal was to make you a bit better of a photographer. The next 2 classes, so we can talk, any of those apps that you have questions on or anything like that, I have them on. I put that list there. Any of the paid ones, I've showed you the 2 paid ones worth getting is Fast Camera and Pixelmator. Manual is pretty cool. Camera Plus is pretty cool. Take a look at the description. I use them all. All of those apps I use all the time. The other ones are completely free. We have coming up smartphone camera tips and tricks. Actually, I call it advanced smartphone camera something. I'll see it in the daily program when it comes up. And then we have advanced smartphone apps. I'm going to let you know. The first class, the advanced smartphone settings class, we're only going to get through about 3/4 of it, but we're going to pick it up in the apps class, if that makes sense. Those classes roll together, so try not to miss one. I am going to be recording them, so if you miss them, I can drop it to you or you can get it on the website, but that's just the concept there. Does that make sense to everyone? So we're done for today, because I want everybody to go to dinner and everything like that. But this is your little sheet right here. I can always email this if you lose it or anything like that. Yeah, your question?
Yeah, the camera lens case?
Uh-huh.
The camera.
It's there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What comes with it?
The case and the lenses. They have different sets depending on the ones you get. The case and the lenses. The weird one. The thing that looks like camera. Cool. So we're going to have handouts for the next ones as well. The one thing I want to implore you to do is please come back to the Google Photos one in Celebrity Central. I know you've already seen it, but here's the difference between that one and this and the one that we did. The one that we did is a lot more hands-on. You've learned a lot more, but here's what I want you to see in Central. In Central, I can be destructive. What that means is I can do edits, I can change things. When we change things as a group, it's a really bad idea. In Central, I'm the only person driving, so I'm going to show it from a different perspective than you've seen it in here. Does that make sense? So it's not going to be the same class that you saw in here that you'll see in Central, but you will get a refresher of what's going on. We go through the same 4 parts, but we go through it a lot quicker when we take a different approach because I don't have to wait for everyone to type something in and everything like that. It's like here, boom, boom, boom. So it's what we did in an hour and a half and 45 minutes. Not as good. I don't like it, to be honest with you. I don't like that one, but it's better than doing this 17 times in a cruise. So it's good. You guys are the only ones that are going to see the original Google Photos class this cruise, but you will see the modified version, which has some things that you did not see in here, which is what's very cool. And also on the 4 days, the 4 port days coming up, we have something every night, both at 7:50, which is tomorrow we're going to be talking about, so the main topic is going to be Amazon.com, but for 10 minutes before that, we're going to talk about passwords and the future of the password, which is something a lot of people have been asking me lately, is where's the password headed? So we're going to talk about the password, and we're going to record that to web. That's the idea. We're going to record it and stream it to web. That's what we're going to be doing in here at 7:50 tomorrow night. And at 8, we're going to be taking a look at exploring the Amazon.com. You don't need to sign up for that. Just show up for that. That's it. Bye.
Bye.